Check, making sure that the audio is coming through. Let me adjust that mix real quick and we'll be underway. Okay. So what's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Got to make sure I mute myself on there. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to think straight. Anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in to the first episode of the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise here on MLB The Show 23. We're going to be doing this in live stream format, so we might cover a lot of ground in today's video. I'm going to be approaching this in similar but different way to prior years, where I want to get pretty far in this franchise, so you're not going to see a whole lot of gameplay early on. Now, I think I'm going to get one game in here to start, just to get a little bit of gameplay going, just to experience a little bit of what MLB The Show 23 has to offer. It's not really a whole lot different from the previous game, but nonetheless, we might get pretty far in this video if I don't play any games whatsoever. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things and hop into a game. Like I said, we're doing live stream format, so make sure you guys leave a comment down in that comment section, get the chat rolling, and I'll see you guys, of course, in that chat. Any questions you have, anything like that, I'll be able to answer. One thing I do want to mention, I hope that you guys will check out my merch store. I don't have any of the merch on right now, but I did have it on in the last video. So the links for everything should be down in the description. There is some really nice stuff on there. I'm highly recommending the Athletic Fit t-shirts and things like that. Those seem to be printing by far the best and really, really clean, really nice quality. So I definitely recommend those. They're really comfortable. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what we've done so far, because in the last video, if you did not catch that live stream, we did set literally everything up for this Pirates franchise, and we're ready to go. And that includes making a big move. And I want to start off today's video by recapping that big move, because as you will see at the top of our roster, we no longer have a man by the name Bryan Reynolds. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, as somewhat of a Pirates fan, I just don't think that he's going to be here long term. And there's a lot of teams that could really utilize his talents. There's a lot of teams that are interested in making a trade for him. We decided to send him to the Texas Rangers because that happens to be the team that is making the biggest push for him right now. And they have the most assets that the Pirates would be interested in to be able to trade for. Realistically, we're talking about top-end prospects that aren't necessarily MLB ready quite right now, and that's kind of the difference between like the Yankees and the Dodgers, who were also in talks to trade for Reynolds. They have a lot of players that the Pirates would want, but they're more MLB ready players, and so those teams are much less willing to give them up. Realistically, that's what it boils down to. What can the Pirates get back? Now, we didn't get an absolutely massive haul, and actually the trade worked out to be pretty much exactly balanced between the two teams in the trade bar. We were able to get back our primary piece, which was Leody Taveras. This is a guy that I wanted to bring in for the outfield because I wanted to make sure I got at least one outfield player back in return, and there were two qualities in specific that I'm looking for because I want this guy to be a true outfielder for us, a guy that has a lot of range and a guy that has an arm, and you can see we were able to hit on both of those categories with Taveras? I don't know. You guys let me know how to say his name. I'm probably saying it wrong. 91 speed to start off with, 94 arm, fielding and reaction are pretty solid, and he really honestly is decently balanced with his contact and power. So this is a guy that at 24 years old could turn into a monster for us. I'm not saying that he's going to necessarily be a center fielder for us, but I really like what this guy has as a frame for us to build upon, and this is exactly what I was looking for. We could have gotten nothing else in this trade, and this would have been a really good centerpiece to have. However, they are talking about, with this trade over to the Rangers, that they're going to give up a couple of pitching prospects in return. In fact, the Pirates are looking for a Juan Soto type of return, which is more than four players. Actually, I think they got, like 5 or 6 players in return for Soto, and they were all like A potential prospects. So, when it was the Nationals, right, if I'm not mistaken. Did I just pass them? Yeah, Washington Nationals. They were able to get back a bunch of A potential guys. They got C.J. Abrams in that trade, James Wood, if I'm not mistaken, Mackenzie Gore. They got 3 A potential guys, and I think they got another 2 like B potential dudes. Anyway, that trade was like massive. They got all of the talent in return. Roster dropping on April 15th if you want to play this franchise with a way more realistic roster. Honestly, yeah, I mean, I know that this roster is not super realistic. I already adjusted the Pirates, though. That's something we did in the first video. It's not going to be the most realistic. They did, of course, miss some of the prospects. I had to add Lonnie White Jr., and we're missing pretty much all of the international prospects, the guys from Japan and whatnot. So, unfortunately, we're going to be missing those guys, but I wanted to get underway. I've been waiting for a game to play for a while, so I'm tired of waiting, basically is where I'm at. I'm not waiting any longer to do anything else. I was going to start this franchise right off the rip no matter what. It would have taken more effort if they didn't get these prospects into the game that they did actually get into the game this year. So I will give them some credit for that, but it's not the best roster in the world. They're not necessarily rated properly, those types of things. Nonetheless, trade-wise, though, Leody Taveras, the piece, and we were able to get Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker back in return for this trade. Now, some people might say that that's a lot of a return, but that's actually kind of what's on the board right now for the Pirates. Actually, the trade that is on the board right now for the Pirates would be Jack Leiter and Kumar Rocker, or Jack Leiter and there's another pitching prospect that they have, or Kumar Rocker and that other pitching prospect, all very similar players, none of which are technically ranked as the Rangers' top pitching prospects. In fact, these guys are ranked as like the number 3 and 4 guys, so they're on the board right now. And in addition to that, the Rangers have like infield prospects that are supposedly rumored to be included in this trade as well. I think Luis Garcia maybe, or Brady House, 1 or 2 of these guys. Basically, the Pirates are trying to get everybody they possibly can for Reynolds. And this just ends up being a really, really good return because we're able to get to starting pitchers that'll potentially turn out for us in the long term. Maybe they end up in the bullpen, whatever it might be. But that's what the Rangers are trying to do. Somehow I ended up on the Cubs. So I was talking about the wrong players. So who were the prospects? Duran is one of them that's named. Who else? Josh Jung was not named. Thomas Segezi. Acuna was another one that was thrown out there. Bubba Thompson was thrown out there, I believe. Dustin Harris was thrown out there. Evan Carter might have been. And starting pitcher-wise, who were the other guys that they had? Owen White, Brock Porter. So, like, realistically, some of these guys are higher rated right now. Yes, this is a show 23. I do apologize if the color is not coming through correctly. For whatever reason, MLB The Show just does not work correctly in terms of the actual visual representation. Like, you can see the colors are not quite coming through. Yeah, I don't know why you're saying I'm white. I adjusted the color from my camera. I don't know. For some reason, for me, it looks like the color's not right on MLB The Show. Like, if I hop over to Madden right now, which I don't really want to mess anything up, but if I hop over to Madden right now, you guys will see that Madden's color is, like, way more vibrant and comes through at a way better quality than MLB The Show does. I don't know what they got going on here with this game, but it's just not quite correct. But anyway, trade-wise, we were able to get Kumar Rocker, Jack Leiter, both rated as B potential players. Probably should be rated higher, but I'm not going to touch them because, again, when we take a look at the Rangers' top prospects, these guys, even though they came out as like being top-end players in the draft, they're really not ranked that highly in the Rangers organization. Like, a lot of these players actually have lower ratings than players in the Pirates organization. So the Owen White is the guy that is their top pitching prospect, And then Jack Leiter is a top 10 prospect for them, but he's only a 4. I don't even know how a level 4 prospect. Like, the Pirates have a bunch of level 5 prospects. So Jack Leiter being a level 4 prospect really isn't even that good. And then you have to go down basically outside of the top 10 to get to Kumar Rocker, who's only a level 1 prospect. They're saying that his timeline isn't even until 2025. And I think that's because he might have had an injury or something like that. But they're really not rated that highly, so it's really not that giant of a return. And like I said, I needed to get one of those outfielders. It was going to be between the left fielder or the center fielder. It really didn't matter too much to me, but I ended up liking Taveras a little bit more on my end of things. So that's where we're starting off with. We're going to play the opening day game. So Mitch Keller's out here on the mound. And we got basically just garbage everywhere else on the roster because that's what the Pirates like to do. And that's where we at. We're gonna try to keep Cabrian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz long term, build around them, and we got to build up the outfield. I don't think the Pirates are getting anywhere as it is with Reynolds in center field because they just simply don't have the outfield to be able to compete. They don't have any arms out there. They don't have any athleticism out there. Like, yeah, some people like Jack Sawinski a little bit. He's all right. Brian Reynolds, not really a true center fielder. He should be a corner outfielder. Andrew McCutchen, I mean, I guess you could say that's a nice move. I appreciate them bringing him back to the team, but they're really probably not going to make a playoff push with what they have on the roster, especially considering the second base being up in the air right now and first base just being absolute dog water at the moment. And then you also have prospects at catcher that have to develop before they're going to be able to do anything. And you also have a very, very bad bullpen. And you also have... you have like 2 competitive pitchers in Keller and Contreras who look like they're going to be competitive. You have 43-year-old Rich Hill, who they expect to probably do more than he's going to be able to do, and then you have nothing after that right now. He wants me to fix Taveras' number, so let me know what number you guys want for him. What do we have for the other outfielders? So McCutchen, 22, of course. Sawinski's wearing 65. That's kind of gross, not going to lie. Can you put 0 on a player? Okay, sure. Why not? If he's going to be a future player for us, he might as well be something iconic. I like 0. I like that pick. Yeah. I wish this franchise was online like Madden as well. That's my one biggest complaint. I said this in the last video, but I'll kind of recap it, try to keep it a little bit straightforward for you guys. But like the additions that they made to this game in terms of scouting, they basically beefed up the existing scouting system. So it is nice. I really like, they made like logical changes to scouting, unlike what Madden tries to do and what EA tries to do with that. But it works. It's a good addition, and they've made other additions in other areas, but still, the one thing that franchise players care about is playing a franchise online with their friends, picking a team that they can build up to compete against their friends who are also picking a team to build up and compete against them. So I don't know why that's not in the game still. I know that they've been having issues with online connectivity and like latency between user competitive games, but man, it's just kind of it's a big knock on the game that they do not already have connected franchise in the game. What else did I want to say? There's one more thing I have to say. I want to thank Sony and PlayStation Talent Partnerships for providing me a review copy of this game. So keep in mind that while we're playing this and I'm commenting on this game, I was provided a copy of it for free. So, you know, I have to put that in there. It's not going to influence my opinion at all. If the game sucks, I'm going to tell you it sucks. If the game's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. So let that be known that that is absolutely the case, but I was provided a copy. Anyway, what else do we have to do? I don't think there was anything else I had to cover. I updated my scouts so that we had best scouts available. We're probably going to fumble through the scouting system for the first season. I'm probably going to make mistakes. So don't fault me too much on that. Somebody wants to see the depth chart. So here's the depth chart on the lineup screen. This is what we're looking like right now. And if players basically just hit their minimum development, this is what we're going to look like next year. So you can expect, this is kind of something we've talked about in a few videos, like a guy like Tavares, who's a B potential player, you can expect him to jump about 4 overall automatically, and that's at 24 years old without having any like crazy performance or anything like that. Put Kutch into left field. Is that where he's actually playing? I guess he is the more athletic one, so it kind of makes sense that he would be in left field. You still can't actually do anything from this screen, which bothers me. You can trade, you can view free agents, but I can't this isn't an actual depth chart. It's not like Madden, it's not like NHL, it's not like FIFA. You don't have like a lineup screen here where you can change this. Like you actually have to go to the individual lineup screen to do it. You can't just flip, like I can't just take McCutchen and flip him with Sawinski. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to do that from this depth screen. I understand that this is trying to do something different. This is just trying to project out what your players and team is going to look like, over the next couple of years, but I still feel like you should be able to move things around and you should be able to set up a plan. Like I should be able to say, okay, well, in 2025, my plan is for Travis Swaggerty to be the starting right fielder, and my plan is for Matt Frazier to be the starting left fielder, and my plan is for Roansy Contreras to be the one at pitcher, and things like that. Like you should be able to input these things, in my personal opinion, and make it so that that you can adjust it the way that you want it to. This is what we look like in 2025. You're going to have O'Neal Cruz, Ke'Bryan Hayes. You're going to have 2 very good pitchers, and finally a rounded out actual pitching staff where you'll be able to be competitive. At catcher, we'll be competitive with Endy and Henry Davis. Hopefully they develop a little bit more by then. And we'll finally have Mason Martin up. He'll probably be up quicker than that for us because I hate having all those older guys there. We will need a DH, though, because I really don't like what we have going on at DH, like Rodolfo Castro, I guess. We don't really have... It's got to be somebody with power, in my opinion, and the Pirates just don't have a whole lot of that. The only prospect they really have right now that has any power is Mason Martin and Tamar Johnson. And Tamar Johnson's going to be a starting second baseman. Mason Martin's going to be a starting first baseman, or I guess he could be a DH, but that means we have to find a first baseman. So either way, we need to find somebody with a little bit of power in order to be that kind of player. Davis, secondary position, first base. Actually, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good point, because if Endy ends up being the starting catcher long term, Henry Davis should find a way into the lineup. So a secondary position of first base would be great, and make Martin the DH. That's a really good point. So let me go to the roster. And that is something that I have not done, so I might do that at some point in today's video, is give these players their correct secondary positions, because a lot of them, last year they did a really good job of giving these guys correct secondary positions, but I usually end up having to change these things. So Tamar's shortstop, that makes sense. Like Ke'Bryan Hayes, I know it says he doesn't have a secondary position, but like, come on. Ke'Bryan Hayes could play first base if he needed to. O'Neal Cruz can play corner outfield. So, there's that. What did they give by? They gave him everything. Perfect. Can we edit his face? Because that's not what he looks like, right? I mean, they gave him the right hair, I guess. That's not accurate. That's not accurate. Let's see, what can we do for him? I just want to see real quick. Head. Yeah. So we got to make him, I mean, where's he from? Japan or something? Let me look up a better picture. By he's from Korea. Skin tone. It's a little bit more like tan now. Maybe like right here. He's even, well, that's not bad. That's a pretty good complexion for him. What do we got? Nose, cheek, hair, head. Head? Yeah, that's where we want to be. So, of course, he needs to look a little bit Korean, right? Like, sorry, but what they gave him right there looks nothing like him. Where, I feel like they switched the orders of these faces. That's still not the right skin tone for him. That one's not super far off. It's not perfect. Probably need to modify it a little bit. That one's not bad. He's got kind of a skinnier head. And he's got a more pronounced jawline. Where's jaw? A little bit more pronounced like that. That's good. That's actually not bad. That's looking better. The hair might have to change slightly, but it's not, actually no, that hair is pretty spot on. He's more tan now. I feel like I'm just kind of, there's not like a good tan. See what that looks like. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not perfect. But that's far better than what we had before, right? Let me know your thoughts. Ooh, a lot of comments to catch up with. What do we got going on? Is it 48 or 50? Yeah, I like it. We'll rock with that. That's not bad. All right, let's get into a game. We'll play full game for now. I have no idea what my settings are on. I should probably check that. We got All-Star right now, so that'll be really difficult for me to start off with, but whatever, we'll go with it. We want control. Offense, swing input, buttons, hitting interface, zone. Do I actually want zone or do I just want timing? I tried timing last year. Didn't work out so well. We'll just go zone. Pitching interface, we want the meter with the pitch trail, button accuracy chevrons. I don't actually really know what's going on with that. Player lock, offense, defense. Wouldn't, I guess I'm wrong. Wouldn't fielding fall under defense? Yeah, button accuracy. I'm just going buttons. I don't even care about button accuracy anymore. Throw canceling off. Apply changes. Mitch Keller up first. Mitch roster. Connor Joe is in. What are they pitching? We're going to be going up against right-hander Hunter Green to start. Oh, gosh, Rodolfo Castro is going to be awful. Can I put Plawecki in at DH? And G-Win by starting up in the majors. I didn't know that. I did not adjust things appropriately, I don't think. Connor Joe can play first base, third base, right field. Can G-Man Choi play first base? We got nobody good at second base. I'm telling you, I should have just started... I should have just started tomorrow up in the majors. Whatever. Hedges? I don't know. He's probably like a 65 overall. So he probably didn't make it up at the MLB roster when I simmed from spring training. They did add flyovers this year, I guess, if you're somebody that cares about that type of stuff. I typically skip all of this, but we'll let it play out.
Here in Cincinnati, great American ballpark in a city steeped in baseball history. Opening day baseball on the show. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the...
Yeah, I'm telling you, these colors aren't right. There's no way. The color's not coming through right.
So the Pittsburgh Pirates with a gloomy outlook heading into the season.
I don't know if I need to switch it to stream in 4K.
How do they outperform expectations?
I don't know.
Give that fan base some hope.
Boog, I got a feeling these fans are going to have to enjoy the little things this year. Maybe a fan favorite has a great season. Maybe a...
Alright, sorry, I gotta skip this stuff. I can't sit through all this. Such a waste of time.
Set to go. Digging in is the switch hitting outfielder, Leody Taveras. That one misses.
Maybe I will just do timing this year. Oh, perfect. Guess what? That'll probably be caught.
That one is gone. That'll fire up.
Who needs Brian Reynolds? Who needs Brian Reynolds, right? Brand new center fielder comes in first at bat. Out of the park, baby. Out of the park.
Well, you got to love a game that brings some action from the jump. And at the plate, he was looking for a pitch to absolutely drive. And, you know, leadoff hitters aren't up there anymore just working the count, trying to get on. They're looking to make some noise and do some damage.
Connor Joe
Ooh, I should have swung at that.
and watches strike one.
Always exciting to see a leadoff home run in an inning. Kind of gets the offense fired up, and you start to expect a big inning.
Next one misses, and that is ball one.
Okay, from here, he's got to treat this as a clean inning. Forget about the fact that his team is now down by a run.
Okay, I will say the changes that they added to the bat sounds are freaking phenomenal. The ball hitting the bat, or the bat hitting the ball. I might have just said that the same exact way twice. The bat sounds are really, really good. Like, actually really satisfying. I didn't think that change would matter too much to me. I was wrong. It's actually really good.
Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
Some real good life going through the zone on that one.
2-2 now. In the air, out towards left center. Makes the grab. Nice play after the long run. And there's one away.
Moody says the bat sounds are terrible. It's possible. I've heard like 4 so far, so, or like 3. So I could be wrong. I could have just heard 1 and overreacted.
In there for strike 1.
This guy plays third base like he's a shortstop, and he welcomes the difficult play. Can throw from so many different angles and make.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Radical Sims base sliders and Figgy Colabrew. You guys let me know. And Cash, you've played it.
So what are the skills you look for?
Yeah, you like the bat sounds. Yeah, see. I mean, it just depends. Like, I don't know. I never played baseball. I've gone to a handful of Pirates games year in and year out. Yeah, see, like, that sounds like what I would hear at a ballpark. Right there. That sounded accurate. You know what I mean? Instead of every bat hitting the ball sounding exactly the same like it did before. It could just be an issue of maybe maybe Moody is seeing in certain situations you're getting the wrong bat sound playing. Like if you lightly hit a ball, you're getting a heavier bat sound, or if you hit a ball pretty well, you're getting a light bat sound. It could be something like that they're referencing. I definitely should have done better there after the home run to follow up that home run, but I'll take the 1-0 lead. I'm usually pretty solid at pitching. I can't guarantee I'll be great. This will be my first time this year. Yeah, that sounded really good. Yeah, this is going to bother me. Yeah, he was right. I need to go to button accuracy on defense.
But last year, he gave his team an opportunity and a chance to win every time he took the mound on average. And when you look at that kind of performance, it has a place on every ball club.
Nick Senzel in the box now. No balls and a strike.
So Cash is Keller now primarily a sinker pitcher?
Got him. One away.
Just out of curiosity.
Here's the catcher to hit. Tyler Stevenson.
Steal situation. Okay.
In the air out to center.
Yeah, I mean, like, that bat sounded a little bit light.
And there are 2 down.
He's throwing cutters.
The batter now is Joey Votto.
And he doesn't have a cutter available here. So that's good to know.
There goes the runner. On the ground at first.
Bro, are you gonna...
Handles the change.
I was gonna say, I'm already not liking G-Man Choi. I tried to react with the stick, and he just didn't want to move.
American ballpark. New inning getting started. Now it's the veteran outfielder.
You'll have to send me the pitches in a text message for him and Roanzi. Everybody else, I don't care about. I don't even try to tell me what Rich Hill throws because he's going to be gone after a year.
California, of course, now we know him as
I mean, honestly, he might be out of the rotation in year 1 for me. Just FYI.
and the pitch. That one way outside, and it's 2-1. And now 2-2.
I should have hit that. Come on, Kutch.
2-2 now. Sends him down on
Ooh, okay.
strikes.
That was
Throws
close.
it with the heater at the knees. And now the hitter, G-Man Choi.
G-Man Choi.
First offering misses badly for ball 1.
I might miss those. I'm thinking about it more now, and I might miss the international prospects. I don't know. I might need to add them.
In 2022, what a fastball he has.
Yeah, it's amazing. Even even if he's not pitching for a winning team, just stopping
Didn't
and
adjust
seeing
to that
what
one.
he's doing is unreal. Fastball velocity effortless, hits triple digits regularly.
Next pitch is outside. Yeah, he set a record in his second career outing when he threw 39 pitches, 100 miles an hour or more.
Easy walk. Why are you walking G-Man Choi? You guess he just doesn't have much control.
Pretty easy walk right there. Last pitch wasn't even much to think about.
At the plate, Andy Rodriguez. In there, and it's 0-1. Trying to pick up his first knock in the big leagues.
There we go. Beautiful hit. We're not going to get to third. No way with Choi.
So digging in, Rodolfo Castro.
One out. Don't want to bunt them over here.
First pitch doesn't
I mean, he's not been accurate with his pitches. I might be able to walk the bases loaded, or get him to walk them loaded.
So 2 balls and no strikes.
I definitely prefer playing this on a computer monitor. It's so much easier to dial in.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Probably should have swung.
At the belt and fires.
Ah,
Popped up to the left into foul ground.
underneath of it.
He's there. He's got it. And there's 2 away.
Well, that was a pitch you got to crush. Unbelievable that he missed it right there. I'm telling you, he is going to be frustrated with himself until his next at bat.
He swings and fouls one off.
Yeah, some of these bat sounds are a little bit light. Like that one, I don't know.
And he hits a ground ball right side. Votto takes it to the bag. That's out number 3. Pirates strand a couple. They lead it 1-0. Back here in Cincinnati, we head to the bottom of the second and ready to hit now for Cincinnati. Jake Fraley. First offering misses the mark.
Missed opportunity in inning 2. Not a surprise, though. That's pretty par for the course for the Pirates. Circle change.
Next offering is in for a strike. Yeah, that's outside.
Missed that one pretty bad. What do I want? Fastball up and in? Good pitch.
That's a strikeout.
Well, just couldn't pull the trigger on the fastball right there, and I don't think he was taking it, thinking it might be a called ball or anything. I just think he was flat out frozen. Did not expect that location, in my opinion.
Jonathan India, the next to hit, takes ball 1. Out to short, Cruz picks it,
Bad throw.
sends it to first. Fine
Not
play
bad
for
in.
the out.
They did change the way that looks a little bit, the button accuracy, so I got to adjust to that. Not bad enough to pull him off the base that time, but it's close.
Really cruising out there on the mound. He's got a chance to get through these first 2 innings with under 20 pitches. That could set him up to go deep into this game.
The 0-1 is outside, and it's a ball and a strike. A little out front there as he swings
Swinging
through.
at it.
Well, as a hitter, you're hoping that the command on that sinker doesn't
Might be able to hit him with the changeup.
But if that's how it's going to be all day, it's going to be a tough one for the offense.
Do I know which has the lower payroll, the Pirates or the Reds?
Ball and 2 strikes. He goes down.
Now, just out of curiosity,
Nobody left for
Dizzy,
Cincinnati. They trail here.
if that's what I can call you, do you like using the lowest payroll in the NL Central for a specific reason? Do you just like NL Central baseball, or you just like using low payroll teams?
Welcome back. All set for the start.
MLB
Now the number 2 hitter, Connor
payrolls. I don't know what it would be in.
Green, 23 years.
I don't know what it would be in the actual game specifically, but let me look for you. The bottom of the league: Athletics, Orioles, Pirates. The Reds are very close behind, though. It's a $10 million difference. I guess the Reds are spending about $10 mil more at about $70 mil. The Pirates are spending about 60 mil. So they should be close. I mean, realistically, you should be good to pick either one, but it looks like the Pirates are lower still. I would expect the Pirates to go up pretty quickly, though, with some of the guys that they have on their roster and some of the moves they've made. They are going to try to compete at some point in the next couple years.
0-2 now. And misses inside.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Not close with that one. And it's 2-2. The pitch. Keeps the at-bat going with a foul ball.
See how the catcher wanted that pitch up and in. Want to try to tie him up. That's the one thing we're seeing, that high fastball. You have to get it up there because of how hitters have changed their swings.
And it's filled up.
He should get a pretty good pitch to hit here with three-hole hitter coming up if he's walked.
Should have sat on it.
3-2. Got it by him for the K.
That 102 mile per hour fastball is pretty hard to catch up with.
Hayes in the box with one away as he takes ball one.
What I'm kind of curious about is what the Cubs are looking like this year. Wow, he really popped that one up.
Makes the grab on the run. 2 down.
Biggest issue with the game is the lack of year-to-year saves. I've heard a lot of people say that. I kind of agree with you, honestly. But that's, I mean, what sports game does have year-to-year saves anymore? Is there any?
Smashed on a line.
That was a good ball to hit. I just needed to move the zone a little bit.
Nothing doing here for Pittsburgh, but they lead it 1-0.
Yeah, and collecting the same cards year after year. I get it. I 100% agree. I wish every game had year-to-year saves.
Back to work.
Because, like, I would just be picking up my Pirates franchise from MLB The Show 22 if they had year-to-year saves. And I'd just be continuing my Road to the Show players. It's kind of annoying having to restart from the beginning every single time. It just kind of depends on, as well, what type of player you are. Because, like, Cash, who's often in my chat, he likes to start fresh often. So you might see him restart his franchise after the Pirates, let's say, have made a couple of big moves or moves that he really liked or something like that. It really just kind of depends. But that's the thing, like, I don't even know. Oh, see, I need to be able to cancel that throw. I don't want throw canceling on, but I kind of need it to be on.
No outs. Runner at first. Spencer Steer, the next to hit for the Reds.
Yes, in fact, it does give you the option to turn DH off to start a franchise.
0-1.
I had DH on. I've always personally been more of a DH type of person, but I also understand the other side of it.
1-2.
I have another buddy that is very against the DH. He's always been heavily in favor of old school NL baseball,
Now it's the shortstop, Ellie De La Cruz. 1-for-1.
which I get. There's nothing wrong with that.
First with a single.
And I kind
Strike one.
of like the challenge of playing that way, having to hit with your pitchers and whatnot. Oh, come on, that slider was in the zone. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to play a whole lot of Diamond Dynasty this year. I feel like a lot of times I go pretty hard on it at the beginning, and then I just kind of fall off when I start playing franchise mode. I was just excited to get into franchise mode this year, to be honest with you. I've been waiting for a good game to play. I thought about going back to MLB The Show 22, but we kept getting closer and closer to the Show 23, and I was like, let me just take a break for a while. I'm coaching football in real life and whatnot, so focus on that, spend time on that, and then come to MLB The Show whenever the time's right.
Time as he takes ball one. On the ground, right side. They take the force out, and that'll
I don't know why I thought I was on 1 out there.
Reds leave 1, still behind. On to the 4th, and now it's going to be
This game might finish 1-0.
swung on.
Oh, Sawinski's got the power. That's got to be out of here, right? Please? Yes. Let's go, Jack. To the moon.
First homer of the
What is
year,
that trophy?
and they add to their lead.
Hit home run with at
It's
least 5
2-0.
seconds or more of hang time. Interesting trophy. I really wish I could get the color to come through right. Because I have YouTube up right there. I want to pull it up on my phone and see what this stream looks like.
His bat stays in the zone for a long time. Absolutely crushed that pitch.
Here's Andrew McCutcheon to hit.
The colors just, they don't look quite right to me.
In there for strike
Guess I
one.
should have been swinging there because that looked like a good pitch to hit.
Home run. Go back to work. Focus on this next batter.
Next time I stream, I might try streaming in 4K
Next offering is in for a
just to see
strike.
if I can get the colors to come out right.
Got him swinging.
That was a bad one.
No, there's a small sigh of relief right there. I mean, just to
EA has 2 baseball games coming.
It's not just the pitcher, it's other guys that have to think about it from
Okay, what do we have names of those games? What are the titles?
but also be in position to make a play as an outfielder. You're thinking about
I mean, like, personally speaking, I've never... I still believe strongly that MLB The Show is by far and away the best sports game on the market. Like, in my opinion, it's not even close. FIFA is the only other one that gives competition. Like, I look at Madden. In my opinion, Madden is dog water right now. Madden 23 is the worst Madden, in my opinion, that's ever been created. NHL, they keep doing the same things over and over again. The game doesn't play realistic, in my opinion. And the game modes that you can play with your friends, because you can't play Connected Franchise, are very, very, very unrealistic. Like EASHL, I think is what it's called.
That off to the left, and we'll do
Kind of
it
like
again.
Club in FIFA.
Next offering up
Super Mega 4. And the other one's a secret, okay.
struck him out.
The other thing, too, is like, I'm kind of tired of the developers that we have on the market right now, especially for sports titles. EA, in my opinion, doesn't really have it going on. I don't know if it's just the developing teams that they have or what. I like San Diego Studios. They're responsive. They still haven't given us online franchise, but
Scores in the inning coming on
they're responsive, and
at the ballpark. Ready to
they at least in my opinion approach what they do to change the game in a logical manner, unlike EA, unlike 2K. I know a lot of people think 2K, the basketball game, is one of the best games on the market. I haven't played 2K23. That was a bad pitch.
out towards left center. Pulls it down and he makes
I don't like the new accuracy meter, I'm not gonna lie.
Joey Votto.
The new fielding accuracy, throwing accuracy.
That one's in
I've never been a big 2K supporter. I really feel like their servers are absolutely awful, and I think that they're to the point now where they make enough money that they should be employing a bigger team, and they are very small compared to like EA, for example.
Here's the left fielder, Jake Fraley. He was a strikeout victim his first time.
The show's guilty of repetition too, 100%. It's just, in my opinion, you can get away with repetition when your game's actually good to begin with and the gameplay isn't just straight up broken. So like MLB The Show's gameplay is pretty good for the most part. Like, I've got nothing to complain about. And like I said, I didn't play baseball, I played football. And so sure, I'm going to look at it through a different lens. I'm probably going to complain more about the football game than I am the baseball game. So I do understand where other people's complaints come from. Absolutely.
Corner.
But in my opinion, the repetition with the show still has a better footing, if you will, than the repetition with NHL or Madden, some of those other games.
Downstairs and outside.
Recognize recognize that changeup right out of the hand. Just spit on it.
Needs a scouting overhaul. Yeah, that's one thing that I said about this game. I mentioned it earlier in this video, but I'll comment on it again just because you brought it up and it's a good topic, is the scouting. The scouting this year is exactly the same from a base perspective, like a foundation perspective. Like your scouts have the same attributes. They have efficiency, pitchers, position players, and discovery. And you still hire scouts in the same way. But you have now a kind of a more in-depth way to actually scout the players, so they built on what they already had, and in my opinion it was a very logical way of improving the existing scouting system. So it could still use an overhaul, but they, in my opinion, still approached it in a much better way, in a mindful way, in comparison to how like EA approaches their changes.
Next offering way off the plate.
I think one of the biggest issues is always the drive for the... Oh, there's a good hit. Come on, Castro. Out of the park? No. Oh, dude, why'd you not go two? Should have done that on his own. What was I saying? The issue that I wanted to highlight is that everybody is always so concerned with the graphics of the game. And, like, I get it. There's a lot of people out there that just want a shiny-looking game. There's a lot of people out there that just want realistic-looking players and realistic-looking faces. I get it. But, like, I'm pretty happy with how realistic these games look. Like, I'm pretty happy with how MLB The Show looks. I know there are people complaining about not enough face scans, this, that, the other thing. Okay, sure, it's a valid complaint. But literally leave it the same from year to year and put all your effort into giving us more content. Like, that's my opinion. The best games I've ever played have not been sports titles. The best games that I've ever played have not been the most graphically interesting games. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy just came out, and yeah, it's a very good-looking game. A lot of people liked Elden Ring, and that's a very good-looking game. But, like, I think of Skyrim. That's one of my favorite games I've ever played, ever. And I've played hundreds. I could bring out my box of PS2 and PS3 games that I just got back off of my mom and show you guys the hundreds of games that I've played. That's one of my favorite games I've ever played out of every game. And it was not graphically pretty at all, even during its time. The Fallout series is one of the best series, just because it has so much content in it. Not graphically interesting. I should probably bunt this. But if he's going to walk me, I mean... 3-0, you just don't swing, right? Unless he gives you something like up. I'll take that call. Loaded bases. Is this a situation where you, like, bunt in a run? Just out of curiosity. Do they have anybody up in their bullpen? I wouldn't be surprised. I need to kind of bump this way a little bit. I feel like I'm off center. Let me check chat real quick. You have to play single player with the least depth for a franchise mode. Basically, if you want to play online, you have to play with cards that are unaffected by your gameplay. I 100% agree. A horrible seasons mode, or you are just a play stack team, full or diamond cards. Quickest, least immersive experience possible. You're not wrong. You're really not wrong. I can't disagree with anything that you said. What's up, Ozzy? Appreciate you tuning in. Are the graphics worth getting the game over last year? No. No, absolutely not. If you're looking for a improvement over last year, there are minor improvements here and there. No. I mean, I obviously haven't played this game a crap ton. We'll see how things play out. But so far, based on my experience right here, I probably would just, if I had to recommend to you, I'd probably just keep playing MLB The Show 22. Like I said, there are some nice improvements. I would maybe get this game if you could get it on a discount. Like I said earlier in the video, I was provided a copy of the game by Sony Talent Partnerships. I guess San Diego Studios. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but oh, thought I got onto that one. But no, I mean, I'm really curious mainly, and we'll see some of it today as we advance through this franchise. Primarily curious what the scouting system's like, and those types of things. See if that makes it more worth it for me. That was such a dumb swing. Oh my gosh, that was such a bad swing. What was I thinking?
He's already homered in this game. And that's in there for strike one.
Not the easiest thing when you're
I'll take the 3-0 lead.
It's, you know, perhaps who's going to be in the rotation. Maybe a long relief.
What type of, just out of curiosity, what type of hitting do you use? Radical. I'm just going to call you Radical because that's the first. You have a long name going there. I use zone. So far, I guess I should say that the hitting does feel a little bit better. It doesn't feel like I'm hitting directly into defenders constantly, which is very much what MLB The Show 22 felt like. It felt like even when I hit the ball well and I hit it in the right place, I would just be hitting it directly to a defender. Like, I've gotten, what, 3 home runs now, and those home runs have all felt fantastic. I will say every single home run that I've now experienced in this game has felt better than literally every home run I hit in MLB The Show 22. Like, those were perfect. I put the bat in the right place, and the ball went where it was supposed to. So, there's something to be said for that. Fisheye zone, no PCI, no K zone. Okay. I'm pretty basic. I run what they give me pretty much. Also, I miss gaming. This is early release, technically speaking. I actually had the game, so early release started yesterday. Yesterday morning, midnight technically. So it's been out for a day, and I had it a day or two before that, something like that, because of the review code that I had for the game. I just couldn't stream at that point in time. But yeah, the game's available if you I assume if you pre-ordered it, you get it now. You gotta wait 3 days. You might have just bought the base. I don't know if that's what it's given you. That's foul. Yeah, Ozzy, we were actually talking about that in the chat a little while ago. The new bat sounds, like, some people have said that they're not a big fan of them, but the new bat sounds to me sound really good. They sound very similar to what I would hear if I'm going to an actual baseball game. Some of them are a little bit soft, in my opinion. Like, I feel like sometimes I'm hitting the ball. Is that another home run? Please? I don't know if it's just the pitchers I'm going up against, but I'm hitting better than I ever hit in MLB The Show 22. Like, I'm on All-Star, and I struggled on All-Star last year. So there might be something to the gameplay being improved, the hitting being improved this year.
And the first pitch misses for ball one.
Yes, Dizzy, I was. You are able to turn the DH off. I commented a little bit on that. You can turn the DH off to start the franchise. I totally get that. I have a buddy that is very much old school NL baseball fan, so he prefers to play without the DH. He wishes they never made the rule about DH. universal DH. But yes, you can turn it off if you want to, which is actually kind of nice that they keep it, that they still include that, because there are a lot of fans that do prefer not having the original, or sorry, the universal DH is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, log on now, Ramos, and see what you can do. It might let you play.
The right-hander gives up the 2-out walk.
Second walk of the game.
So I'm not gonna lie. What settings? Gameplay, All-Star, Hall of Fame. I tried to pitch on Hall of Fame before. I'm not bad at it, but this might be the year. This might be the year. We'll see if I stay consistent or not. But this could be the year that I actually go up above All-Star.
He's just not going outside of what he's looking for up there.
2 outs.
Rodriguez up to hit for the third.
Let's go, Endy.
As he lays off inside, ball 1.
Way too low of difficulty. I mean, yeah. Sorry, my buddy texted me. Sure, but I mean, I'm on All-Star, which is I'm on All-Star, which is what I'm above what I normally play on. I normally actually prefer Veteran because it's kind of like a comfortable, somewhat competitive experience for me. Because of course I'm not very good, at least not compared to some of the guys that stream this nonstop. Come on. Dang. It's kind of hard to see that line for me.
4-run score in the inning. 3 coming right here on the 3-run homer. It's now a 6-0 ball game. It's Major League Baseball on the show.
All right.
Back here at Great American Ballpark, we head to the bottom of the 5th. Now it's the second baseman, Jonathan India.
Steelers re-sign Gentry. Let's go. That's what I want to hear. I like Zach Gentry a lot. Backup tight end for the Steelers. I've always felt like he's a very good tight end. He just needs some time. I know that we're in baseball mode right now, but we are picking the corner now.
Turned into the National League Rookie of the Year in 2021. Just an incredible season.
What? Come on, India. Don't swing at that. Had to upgrade to get it now.
So up next, Will Myers.
I was like, Jazz. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I didn't even listen to the intro yet. Dizzy. I use manage mode and non-DH is much more interesting as a manager. That makes sense. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I could see that. I mean, that's kind of how I plan to play this franchise, so at least for like the first couple seasons. So I'm playing a game right now just to, to have something interesting going on. But after I get out of this game, we're going to really start rocking. Like, we're going to start simming forward. And not even manager mode per se. We're going to start legit like moving through it because I want to get to next year or the year after, that type of thing.
Strikeouts to start the frame, and that's now 3 in a row.
Yeah, he's really settling in and getting a feel for his pitches, throwing them where he wants to right
I thought that was Cole Tucker for a second. Who's that? TJ Friedel?
Sawinski racing over to make the catch. And 1, 2, 3.
Hall of Fame hitting
Still up against
versus
the
All-Star
6-0
pitching.
deficit.
Might mean less scoring, more walks for you. Okay. The problem that I have, I've actually been very, very patient at the plate in comparison to what I normally am. So, like I said, I'll have to see if this stays consistent because sometimes I come up here and I'm swinging at everything just because it's hard for me as somebody that played football, coaches football, watches football, plays Madden. It's kind of hard for me, the pace of MLB The Show sometimes. Sometimes I just want to get on and play a quick game and like have the experience, but these games can take an hour. So.
And a count 1 and 2.
Cole Tucker. Where is Cole Tucker now?
Here comes a pitch.
Ooh, good hit.
Swing and a line drive, base hit out of the center
Yeah, see, did you guys hear that one? That one sounded maybe a little soft to me. I mean, it wasn't a very hard hit ball. I mean, it sounded about right, but I feel like it should have maybe been a little bit louder.
He's already homered here in this one. Next offering is down low, and that's ball one. Tavares.
How do the Pirates look roster-wise? Well, I traded away Brian Reynolds, so not the best. But I mean, they've got a lot of young up-and-coming talent, so within a couple years, they should be really good roster-wise.
With the talent we've seen from the Dominican Republic, Vladdy, Big Papi, Pedro, the list goes on and on.
And the righty deals.
That's a really good point, Dizzy, about year-to-year saves.
Upstairs.
That's not even something I really thought that deep about, but that's 100% right. It makes much more of a difference with baseball because of the minor leagues.
Swing and a miss, 3-2 now.
Should have a walk. Again, just swinging at dumb stuff. Why do I mean, I know I'm up 6-0. I really shouldn't be complaining, but like,
And he chases that
and I swing
one.
at another bad one.
One gone at the top of the sixth.
That's another thing too, though. So yeah, losing your minor leaguers and whatnot, like, there are so many more levels in baseball that influence the year-to-year capability of your team, and
So first and second, now one out.
you just don't have that in other sports. The only problem is they also need to revamp the depth of the minor league system within this game, because in this system you only have AAA, AA, and single A, and the single A guys don't even play games. So that's not accurate, right? Because there's like low A ball, high A ball. I mean, and I don't even understand the full minor league system and the way it works, because again, not 100% a baseball person.
Drops in.
I might have been able to get a run off of that. But
Bases loaded with
point
one
being, there are a lot more levels to the minor leagues than are in MLB The Show.
Infield and in the outfield, there really aren't a lot of base hits on balls hit like that, but there's always a little room back behind the first and second baseman to drop a lawn dart in there, and he found a way.
The 1-0. Swings through that.
1 ball, 1 strike.
The 1-1. And a foul ball.
That should have been rocked, and I put my PCI in the wrong place completely.
The 1-2.
Why does it feel like the PCI is really big for All-Star? Am I wrong? I'm not seeing... So there's what? Dynamic? Yeah, Dynamic is on its own. There's a lot of difficulties in this game. Amateur, minors, rookie, veteran, All-Star, Hall of Fame, legend. It's not on Dynamic. It just really feels like the PCI is huge. I mean, I know I'm batting with O'Neal Cruz, but like with some of the other guys, it felt kind of big. Is it just the way they changed hitting this year?
Left-hand hitter waits.
Bro, that should not be a home run. Holy crap, that's a bad swing.
Slam.
I mean, I guess I can't call it a bad swing when I just put that out of the park.
His first homer of the year. It's 10-0.
Yo, what's up, Braden?
Home run of the game.
They can't stop.
Thanks for jumping into the stream in the chat. Where are you? I haven't seen you in a while, dude.
Each other at the dish.
Ian Gibaut
You need
gets
to-
the rock out of the pen.
And we all know about his slider.
Need to be
It's
at
just
football.
filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very
He hits home runs by accident. I really like the way you phrased that. Bulldogs play tomorrow versus the Sentinels.
The 0-1. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Something's up here.
And down on
That was an
strikes.
awful swing.
And
I'm just
there's
being 100% honest. Something is up
now it's going to be
because this does not feel like All-Star. I mean, I don't know.
McCutcheon. 1 for
It's
3.
one game, so I'm not going to change it yet, but see you, Dizzy. Appreciate you tuning in.
Hammered center field. That's going back. Back some more. And out of
What
here.
is happening right now?
Andrew McCutcheon blasted it out. And it's 11-0. That's their 5th homer of the game.
Guys,
Man, they're all getting into the action. It's starting to feel like a home.
did I get good at MLB?
Choi in the box with 2 gone. And get a called strike. He's 0
So here's what I'll say, Ozzy. On my screen
that misses the
that I'm playing on, the colors are correct. Coming through the stream,
manager David Bell.
the colors are not correct. I cannot, I gotta pause it just to kind of explain this. I cannot get the colors to come through correctly for you guys. At first, when I tried to set up the stream and the recording equipment and everything, it was coming through super dark and like fuzzy. So I reset it. Same thing. Reset it. Same thing. Took me like 5 times resetting everything, turning the PC off, turning everything off, that I finally got it to show the proper color. And the color's just like way brighter. It might be a contrast thing than it should be. Like for some reason, the color that's coming through to you guys, like the yellow, for example, and the red of the Pirates and the Reds uniforms are way brighter than they actually are in the game. So I guess keep that in mind. I'll try to figure out how to get that to work properly. But like when you go to settings, there's nothing to,
Falling behind 2-1.
there's just nothing to get the color coming through correctly. There's no way to adjust contrast and stuff like that. So that may be why it looks like Jack has gray hair.
That gets the inside
For
corner
the
a
long, drawn-out answer. Score little grades. Yeah, man, you got to keep those grades up. Hey, I look forward to you getting back to football, though. Coming on Monday, good.
pitch.
I should be there Monday, as long as nothing changes.
Hit weakly on the ground towards second. Throw over to Votto. That's the 3rd out. Pirates played 4 on the grand slam. To the bottom.
I've only let up 2
of the
hits.
6th. Now the 3rd baseman, Spencer Steer. The wind to the pitch. And that one hit to first.
Gee,
And he
man,
takes it himself
Choi.
for the out.
Well, he's doing a nice job of
What'd you
keeping
miss?
the ball
You just
out of
missed
the
this
air.
game. Oh, football-wise, you really didn't miss much of anything. Just more lifting. So it's pretty much been the same stuff.
Takes a strike.
Lifting wise, you missed a day in the rain on Thursday. We all got soaked in a downpour, so that was fun.
Outcome, it seems like within the 3rd or 4th pitch of
Football wise, not much. I mean, you might have missed a day or two where they did some like lineman steps and a couple of
And he deals.
just like agility drills, but that's about it.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout.
Well, when you commit to throwing an inside fastball to your glove side across the strike zone, especially with 2 strikes, if you're going to miss, you want to miss all
The only
the
trouble
way
is you
there.
don't want to
You
take
don't wanna
off
leave
too
out
long
of
from
the
working out, so
excellent
if you
execution
do
on
have to
that
miss
pitch. Really tied him up.
for whatever reason, try to get workouts in on your own
Next offering misses.
so that you keep building that strength. I've not used the... Oh, come on. That hit the zone.
3-ball count here. He's been
3-0.
throwing strikes all day. Gotta be
We're going to
ready
go
to hit with
fastball
the
down
box.
and away. Probably a mistake.
In for a strike. Now 3-1.
Good strike. Fastball up and in.
And a strike.
Good pitch. We're going to take the chance with the slider.
Flew open a little bit with that front shoulder, but was able to slow his bat down just enough to make
Curveball.
contact with that pitch. Keep the at-bat alive.
The 3-2
Not a
is
good
off
pitch.
the outside edge, and that is ball 4.
We don't want to start falling apart now. I'd really like to get the shutout.
Stevenson in the box again, takes a strike. Slapped foul. The 0-2. The punch out there.
End of the
So he's
sixth.
gotten deep into this game. Back here at the ballpark, here's the catcher, Andy Rodriguez. Jabot back to work. This one popped up. De La Cruz moving under it. And a quick out, number 1.
I also need to figure out how to get OBS to work to where I can have the little chat thing pop up. Like, there's a way in the software to be able to see the chat. I actually, the way I operate it now is I pull up YouTube and actually just look at the chat through YouTube, which is not ideal because that means I'm using some of my connection that should be just dedicated to streaming this. I'm using some of that connection to be watching the YouTube video and watching the chat. Rodolfo Castro, 2 of 3 though. 2 for 3, 2 of 3.
Hard hit, right side. Can't field it cleanly, but plenty of time to recover, and that's
Well
the
hit
second
ball.
out. Leody Taveras now at the plate. That one hammered, but pulled foul.
I'm really hoping that I can get on a roll here this year with MLB The Show and whatnot,
On the ground,
and
right
pushing
side.
out videos and streams.
Over to first in time.
Reason being,
That is that.
I was watching a podcast recently. I can't remember who exactly it was, but they were talking about the YouTube play buttons and when you get those. And I guess you get a YouTube play button for 100,000 subscribers. And now I really want a YouTube play button. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers.
In for a strike.
I really feel like you should get something for 10,000, but, you know, I guess I get it.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Now
But what that means we're at over a tenth of the way. Over a tenth of the way to that play button.
And first offering is fouled off.
Look out. That ball was smoked. Man, I am so relieved that they have this netting down the lines. Just ensures safety for the fans. Last thing as a player, you want to look up and see a fan get hit.
We are destroying these guys with Keller, though.
Next pitch misses, and the count is 1-2.
72 pitches. He's not great on energy.
And here it comes. Hit weakly on the ground. He'll do it himself.
I'm also playing the Reds, and the Reds just aren't very good.
Jonathan India at the plate.
So that's something to consider.
First pitch doesn't find the zone.
A roster from the vault for last year's game.
That one
In
missing.
terms of for current updated rosters. I would imagine there's probably a Operation Sports Forum Management, OSFM is what it's called, or I think they're connected with Ride and Rosters. You could Google those.
For a strike.
I would imagine that there's a roster out there,
Guess you'd say kind of what we expect.
something related to them that's close to updated.
Pitching matchup where you
Come
expect
on.
offense to
We
score
got to get out of this
and
inning.
not
Get out of
just offense
7. I'm going to
this.
start warming guys up, though, at that
You
point.
definitely expected to see some offense coming up.
Myers stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. The next pitch misses, and it's 1-1.
Oh, crap. Yep. Kind of figured that was going to happen.
Base hit. Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out.
Fastball pretty much middle, and that's what you fall asleep dreaming about as a hitter. So no surprise he put a great swing on it.
Yeah, Ryden took a job with SDS.
The next to hit
The only reason I say, because he was asking about MLB The Show 22,
foul over the screen and back.
He probably has a roster out for the show 22, but yeah, he just took a job with San Diego Studios, who develops MLB The Show. So you're probably not going to see him making a roster this year for this game. Somebody was in the chat earlier though. Oh, come on. Whoa. You're probably not going to see a roster from that end of things. Gosh, our bullpen is trash. We don't need to use anybody great, though. Warm up. Warm up. Come on, get under that ND. There we go.
Racing over to make the catch. Welcome back. We're at the top of the 8th. To the plate now for Pittsburgh is the DH, Connor Joe. Pitch misses inside, and it's 1-0.
Sit down. Yeah, we're gonna. I don't want to. We're gonna be simming this season. We're just gonna keep him warm. I saw somebody saying you can't get to your bullpen easily this year. Maybe it was Cash, but you can. You just press the up arrow, and you go to your bullpen. Oh yeah, swinging bunt. Yeah, up arrow, bullpen. It's the same as last year.
The 1-1 is cut on and missed, and a pitch upstairs. That's down and in.
Do we have a playbook yet? I don't think they've officially put out their playbook, but I've seen what they're going to be running at the high school. So there's a good bit of what's called an H-back, which is kind of like in between a fullback and a tight end. You do a lot of blocking type stuff. It's kind of like a fullback. So if they are looking for players that will play that role, that'll hit somebody, block somebody, you know, so you could be somebody that slots into that role. And they run a lot with what they call their H-back. They have a lot of H-back usage. So if you tell the coaches that you want to try some H-back, I think they would certainly be open to it. It's pretty hard to find guys that are willing to go in and deliver a blow and block somebody the way an H-back has to, and I think you would be one that would be capable of it.
But all he's doing now is passing the baton, and everything seems to get started around this guy.
Next to hit, Jack Sawinski.
Ooh.
First pitch, and he has to get out of the way. Cruz leads off first with 2 down to the inning.
I agree with you, Benny. I'm pretty excited to see what he's able to bring to the base rosters. I think that'll help. I think that'll help big time, making sure that some of the gaps are filled, because the roster this year that they gave us it's not awful. They have a lot of the prospects in the game. They need to get some more face scans. They need to get some more ratings right. And I feel like him being over there, and he said he's going to be working on a lot of that minor league stuff, that's going to be huge, and that should help bridge that gap. Yeah, I know he's getting tired. I want to see if I can finish the game with him, though. You really have to hold the throwing meter pretty long this year.
And fires. And that one off the outside edge.
Really good take, especially with 2 strikes.
Get there. Oh my God.
And he throws it away.
You really have to hold that a long time. Wow. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like that.
Now the catcher up to hit, Tyler Stevenson.
I really don't like how long you have to hold the meter to get the throw in.
And you know, bullpen guys can struggle sometimes when they're called upon with big leads because it just doesn't have the same intensity as a tight game. So we'll see how sharp he is. Your mental toughness matters in situations like this as well.
Next offering is in for a strike. And a swing and a miss. Down on strikes. That's the second out. Joey Votto, the next to hit for the Reds. Intentional walk here with 2 out. They set up a force at any base to end the inning.
All these fans aren't really loving that. To walk him intentionally there seems pretty unnecessary. And you know, he's a guy they paid to come and watch.
0-2 as he waves at that one. Gets a piece and stays alive. Senzel.
Yeah, I actually really like this one.
At first, 2 out of the inning. Bounce to third, and he grabs it in foul ground. The next offering misses. 1-2 to count.
Who is this Yarlin Garcia?
Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again. Swings and misses.
Out of the eighth.
That is that. Reds. So a new arm out of the bullpen for the Reds. Buck Farmer.
I think it's got to be a little tough coming in out of the pen when your guys are trailing so big on the scoreboard. Just doesn't have the same intensity to it, but he's got to find a way because these batters count the same for his stats, obviously, regardless of the score.
Next offering popped in the air, right field, and there's one down. Up next for the Pirates, G-Man Choi. That one is absolutely belted.
There's no way that's a home run. Is it really?
And that is
Holy crap. G-Man Choi.
G-Man Choi bops one out of here. His first homer of the year, and they tack one on the board. It's 12-0.
Dude, it really doesn't feel like I'm playing on All-Star.
In the air, left side.
What's my hitting view? It's whatever it put me on as a base. Camera, hitting view. It's just catcher hitting view. I haven't actually adjusted anything yet this year.
To grab, 2 away.
Sometimes I zoom in a little bit.
At the plate for Pittsburgh, Rodolfo
Honestly, I've not been practicing. I literally have not played MLB The Show since my last MLB The Show video, whenever that was.
round pick.
I gotta look this up now. YouTube Studio content, MLB The Show. Where are we at? The November 6th. I have not played MLB The Show since November 6th.
Back in 2013. And the 1-0. Ground ball right side.
Will the live become its own video?
Out number 3.
Explain what you
One
mean.
inning for the Pirates on this solo homer. On now to the bottom of inning number 9. And
Like, will this pop up on my channel later? Like, will it be available to watch later? Yes. You just, I think, have to go to the live category.
Strike 1. And downstairs.
Like, if you click on my channel,
Slider down and in. He finished
there's
really well.
videos.
Just couldn't get him to offer out.
Let me look it up.
And a swing and a miss. Filthy chase.
Like, when I go to YouTube,
Pulled the string.
click on my channel, there's home, videos, shorts, and then live. And all of my live streams will pop up under live. So like this video won't be classified under my homepage. Well, it might be under my homepage, but it won't be classified under my videos page. This will be classified under live.
And a weak ground ball to the left side.
There we go. Okay, I'm getting more used to that throwing thing. I just have to
Now it's the right fielder, Will Myers.
just kind of have to figure it out.
Pitch misses inside, and that is ball one. Got a good eye there. Broken bat, roller to first. The flip to the pitcher covering. Now only one out remaining.
Good slider inside right there. Batter.
Fastball, fastball, fastball.
Over it. Got ground ball.
No, Brian Hayes got that.
Foul ground. And he's got
Opening day win, 12-0 on All-Star. Okay. No, I think that, honestly, I think it's the way they changed hitting. So like, there were a lot of times in MLB The Show 22 where, for example, with the PCI on zone hitting, there were a lot of times where I felt like I put the PCI here, for example, and it ended up hitting like here. You know, this is where the PCI was, or it ended up hitting here. Like just off of where I was actually putting the PCI, and so I ended up with a lot of badly hit balls, or I ended up with a lot of balls that I did actually hit correctly and they would just go directly to defenders. So I think maybe now it's actually operating the way they intend it to. Maybe. Jack Sawinski 2 for 5 with 2 home runs. O'Neal Cruz 3 for 5 with a home run. McCutchen 2 for 5 with a home run. And Leody Taveras hit a home run on the first pitch of the game. Our brand new outfielder that is coming in for Brian Reynolds. Get a new pack.
Inside the show. Here's your host, Justin Allegri.
Training.
Opening day is behind
I'm
us, so let's look
probably
back
not going to do much with training right now.
Looking first at the NL Central, the Pirates amassed an
I don't know why it always gives me this notification about player search.
over the
So I want to get to scouting so I can show you guys a little bit of the new scouting system.
as they got the best of the Brewers at home.
I think the first day you can scout. Fix the lineups. You can scout on the second, the first day of each week. I think your scouting week technically runs Sunday to Saturday.
Results from yesterday.
Is the way that it works now.
The Marlins
Thank you, Ozzy.
14 hits in total as they got the best
Came away with a really nice win there to start.
Freddie Freeman had an outstanding
Let's give this a good save,
the Dodgers over the Diamondbacks.
just so I don't lose that result. I can't guarantee the team will continue to be successful without me playing every game this year, but we'll see.
Don Alvarez added 3 RBIs.
Let's sim through this game. 6-2 win. Yeah, okay, so now scouting's available.
Justin Allegri.
Welcome to Inside the Show. Baseball is back.
Inside the show.
National League Central, the Pittsburgh
Audio, video. Inside the show. How about off for right now? I don't really want to keep hearing them pop up. Unless you guys do. If you want to keep hearing the inside the show stuff, let me know. I'll turn it back on. Scouting. All right, so welcome to the Scouting Big Board. This is your central hub to learn about prospects in this year's amateur draft. Scouting assignments are decided on a weekly basis for 14 weeks. It's important for teams to use this time to prepare for a successful draft. You have 3 scouts in your organizations. That means you can have up to 3 scouting assignments per week. When you're finished with your scouting assignments for the week, select Advance to finalize. You also have the Advance to skip it and set it to auto. So, kind of like every other feature in the game, you'll be able to set it to auto. Then you also have a positional needs, positional needs tab here where you can kind of see and you can check off what you feel like you need. You can select 3 positions to improve. Player interest, increase player interest for players who match your selected positional needs. So that's really helpful. I think I'm probably going to specifically look at pitchers for the most part or outfielders. I really want another outfielder with an arm. The problem is you can only select 3, right? So, honestly, I don't know when it'll be on Game Pass. I actually don't know any of that information. This is kind of hard for me to select. Maybe you guys can give me some advice here. I do like this feature. This is a nice added feature. You can increase player interest. Although I've not yet seen how player interest actually influences how things play out. I assume they can decide to not sign with your organization if you draft them, kind of like in real life, like they can go back to college or whatever. So I want I want more power batters in the infield, because we don't have a whole lot of power on the team. So I was thinking first base, third base type of players, right? I also want corner outfielders that have an arm, or center fielders rather, that have an arm, because there's none of that in the organization. I feel like the best way to achieve some power and arm capability is left fielder and right fielder. Let me know what you guys think, because typically left fielders and right fielders, you're going to get a guy that has a good arm or has good power, or maybe both. And I could always switch them to first base or third base if I want some power in the infield. Let me know what you guys think, if that strategy kind of makes sense. And then I also want players that can fill out my bullpen, closing pitcher, relief pitcher. But I don't think it really makes sense to focus on relief pitcher and closing pitcher, because like, how often do you actually get good players at those positions in the draft? I think it might be better to focus on starting pitcher, because that's probably going to cover the most players, and you can always move starting pitchers to the bullpen, right? So let me know if you guys agree with that logic. And I guess if nobody comments one way or another, we'll just roll with it. Scouting priority-wise, we changed our scouts already, so we have 3 really good scouts. Here's where it's breaking down your attributes. Your pitcher attribute determines the accuracy of scouting reports for pitchers, determines the accuracy of scouting reports for position players. Discovery determines the amount of new prospects that can be discovered per week. That's all pretty straightforward. This one is the one that I think confuses a lot of people, which is the efficiency. Actually, I don't like Curtis Rivera's efficiency. That's actually really bad. I apologize. I skipped over it, but I have a picture. I have a screenshot of that one, so I want to show you guys that. Or not show it to you, but talk about it. The efficiency attribute determines the amount of player interest, which is, I guess, the new mechanic, and scouting progress % gained per week. So that's going to influence how much you actually discover about a player per week. So like, you might be really good at scouting position players, but if you're not efficient, you're not going to discover much about them. These are just, you can scout a specific prospect. You can scout players you already have discovered at a position, or you can discover more additional prospects. That's really straightforward. The one thing I don't like is you can't just hop out of here. So you have to set your priorities, or you have to click advance and skip past it. So right now we have prospects uncovered that we can scout. So I can tell these guys to scout a specific player right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the corner outfield. Yeah, the potential does change. It's on a number scale, though. So, like, a player will show A, B, C, D, or F potential. And the way that it truly works is anybody that has potential on the number scale of 90 to 99 would have A potential. 80 to 89 has B potential. And so let's say you have a player that has 90 potential on that A scale. If they're not playing well, something happens, maybe their morale's down, maybe it's they play really poorly for a whole season, that 90 can go down into the 80s. And then it will then list the players having B potential, and it'll show you over time. And as we go through this video, you might actually see some instances where that's the case. Draft rank 42, not ranked, not ranked. Okay. Draft rank. So the draft rank... 1, 2. So we're going to have, what, probably the top 100 prospects discovered? And then a bunch more after that. Okay. Recommended draft prospects. This is a bunch of starting pitchers. Corner outfielder. Top 100 draft prospects. I don't know where we're going to end up in the draft, but it seems like it could make sense, you know, potential-wise, to try to scout guys with the right numbers. So, like, let's compare Frank Randolph and Tino Garcia, for example, here. The overall here might be a big factor, because like Tino Garcia, he can't be any lower than a 72 overall. He's coming in as a 20-year-old, which is kind of crazy. I thought they said they eliminated those players that are going to be coming in at a super high overall. Anyway, we know that he can't be any lower than a 72 overall, because when you actually take a look at the player, his overall is 72 to 96, but his potential is 68 to 92. So he could be a 72 overall with 72 potential. Whereas Frank Randolph is probably a much lower overall. He's a 58 to a 77. But we know his potential can't be any lower than a 79, which means he's probably got B or better potential. He's probably in the 80s at the very least. And we know that he has the potential to really be an A. I mean, if you look at a guy like Tino Garcia, his potential only goes up to 92. So what are the odds that he's a 90, a 91, or a 92? Very low. What are the odds that Frank Randolph is a 91 through a 98? Higher than the guy that only has a couple potential points in the 90s, whereas Randolph has potentially 9 available numbers he could be in the 90s, if that makes sense. Ramon Mendez. Yeah, there really aren't any corner outfielders, so maybe I should kind of revise what I was looking at there. .56 to 90. This guy looks like he has a good bit of potential. I want to... This guy would be potential 72 to 86, so he's probably not going to be very high. So I do want to scout that guy. He's potential draft rank 17. I'd say we have a realistic shot of getting him. That's... I have to think about who's going where, though. So Julius Wirth is good at scouting position players. He's our best guy at scouting position players. He's also our best guy at discovery, though. We're going to scout left fielders in the East. Scout position. Left fielders, right fielders in the East. Now that we have those selected, we can hit advance, finalize weekly scouting planner. Again, here's where you can skip scouting and set the auto. One thing that's important to note is once you do finalize it, you can certainly come back in. So you just have to put something in here to then get out of here and then come back in. What was the thing I was trying to do outside of here? I can't even remember now. I have no idea. Training, transactions, budgets, trades, free agents, contracts. One thing that's really nice that they changed about... Oh, I was thinking about changing out Curtis Rivera. I'd have to change him with somebody that's under $96,000. So he's really good at position players. So I would want somebody good at scouting position players and somebody good at discovery. I want somebody not good at discovery. I want somebody that's good at that has good efficiency. I don't think that's really going to be the case with many of these dudes. Position players, efficiency is higher, pitchers is higher, discovery is lower. Do I need 3 people that are good at discovery, though? We have one that's good at position players that has good efficiency, one that's good at pitchers that has good efficiency. That's fine. We don't really need to change it. All right, well, let's get it moving. Oof. Rich Hill sustained an injury, forearm tightness, keep him active. So now we'll find out what these players are looking like. Edgar Feliz, 40% scouted. Our draft rank has him at 36, so he's not as good as we thought he might be. I kind of want to keep scouting him, though. Oh, shoot. Did I... I think I did that wrong. That's fine. Edit scouting assignment. Cancel scouting assignment. I wanted to discover new prospects. That was dumb. That did give us more info on some of the guys that we have here, though. Okay. Let's try to fix our mistake. Do it this way. So we went from 2 strong wins to start off the season to now 3-5. It's honestly about right. St. Louis versus Pittsburgh. Oh, we should be able to finish that. Cardinals beat us. Sounds about right. Torn ACL for Connor Joe. Nice. So we're going to have to make a move there. So it's autoing everything for me right now. So we brought up Andahar, which makes sense. That's fine. I want to go to second base. Bro, Tamar, come on. You got 60 contact on both sides, and you're hitting like crap. You only have 12 at-bats, though? I guess you really haven't played that many games, huh? All right, scouting. 2 outfield prospects discovered. Did this person not discover anybody? View on recently scouted list. Now, here's where things are confusing. Where do I see those players? Because I can move the priority of these things. View on recently scouted list. But, like, the only way I can view players specifically is by having an assignment active and canceling that assignment. Right? Or am I missing something here? Positional needs, scouting, bonus allotment, depth chart, advance. Like, there is no place for me to just actively see all of the scouted players. Yeah, our coaching staff stinks. I know that. Anybody got any recommendations here? What am I potentially missing? Entry list, stadium assignments, top prospects. How do I just view players that I've scouted? Does anybody know? I don't really think there is. $10 and $12 is not all that bad. All right, so we've now got Edgar Feliz 100% scouted. May not have been the best player to scout, but we know he's at least got C potential. He's going to be possibly a low B. And coming in at probably a mid to high 60s. Left field, right field. And he's looking like probably a late second round, early third round pick because he's ranked 62. We've only discovered one prospect. What is going on? Okay, cancel scouting assignment. We need to scout positions. Actually, we need to see what we actually even have out here. Recently scouted. Some of these guys have really good potential. Carlos Salgado, 80 to 99 potential as a 21-year-old first baseman. 82 to 96 potential as a starting pitcher. Scout position. Starting pitcher. That's the other thing to consider here, though. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to have the scouting assignment set up as scout position, starting pitcher, East, International, Central, West, because how am I supposed to know where these guys are locationally? Right? Like, I have top 100, all recent. And let's say I go starting pitchers. Scouting progress, draft rank, our draft rank, overall potential, age, class, bats, doctor's exams, secondary positions. There's nothing here that says where the player's located at. So how do I know if I'm scouting, like if I'm scouting a specific position, how do I know if I'm scouting Tino Garcia or Brian Salinas? Player card, I guess. Signing motivation, doctor exam, injury risk. Okay. I mean, I really don't feel like I should have to. Might be a little bit too much. I don't really feel like I should have to go through and say like, okay, this guy's from Iowa, this guy's from Missouri, this guy's from the Dominican Republic. So make sure I find the one that has the most. Like, okay, so how many internationals are there? Dominican Republic, Venezuela, Dominican Republic, California. That just seems really inefficient to me. Like somewhere here there should be a prospect summary list and there's not. Why is there no prospect summary list somewhere? Am I just missing it? I have to just be missing it, right? Or is this just meant to be, is this meant to just make it like a crapshoot? I don't know. Let me check my phone real quick. All right. Well, like I said, we're stumbling through it. And I don't see anybody dropping a comment telling me otherwise. So, why is Peguero on the trade block? I guess you have to have somebody on the trade block. Oh, it's probably autoed. Crucial situations, we return those off. Lineups, rotations. We might as well put them on auto for right now. 40-man roster. That's going to be mine. Roster moves, manual, scouting. I'm half tempted to put this on. Okay, Cash is back in the chat. Bro, can you give me some help on this scouting thing? Drafting manual, injury management manual. Management, meaning what? Manual. Hiring manual, trades manual, free agency manual, contracts manual. Why was all that on auto? Anyway, would you say just auto scout? Is that going to be the best way to do it? I'm just confused because you go to scouting here and you can set your assignments, right? You can set your positional needs. It says like right here, one outfield prospect discovered, view on recently scouted list. How do I get to the recently scouted list without canceling the assignments that I have? Like there's nowhere to just view this recent. There's nowhere to view scout. This is a mess. Julius Worth. Change prospect. I mean, then I can go in here and actually see the different prospects, but I shouldn't have to change my assignments to get there. I finished the week and it's a tab, so am I going... so I shouldn't be... I guess I shouldn't be going... But then you can't... access scouting past the... I know it's a... No, but look, here's what I'm saying. Okay, so I sim through here. Right, so I'm back to scouting assignments. Okay, I get it, right? I can 100% cancel this assignment and go into here and scout a prospect, and then I can look through all of these prospects, right? I could look through recently scouted, recommended draft picks, top 100. Okay, I get that. But once I set my thing, you know, once I set it this way and all of these are set, then there's no way for me to go in and look at the prospects list. Like, I should be able to, like at the top here where it says R1 for scouting and positional needs, there should be another one where I press R1 and I go and see all the prospects. And like, for example, let's say I continue with this plan, then let's say I sim to the next day here. Right? Now I'm on May 1st. There should be some way for me to... Okay. All right. As long as I know I'm not going crazy. Like, once I set my assignments, right, I should be able to then view the players. I should be able to view this stuff, but I'm completely locked out. So you can only look at the players effectively 14 times before you draft. Right? Because there's 14 weeks for you to scout, and you can only set that scouting on the Sunday of each week. So, you know, that's 14 weeks times 7, 70 plus 28, 98 days. So there's 98 days total until you can draft, and you can only view your scouting and the players 14 out of 98 days. Huh. That's not good. That is not a good way to implement scouting. I don't think it would be super hard for them to just open up a tab for us to be able to see all the players once we've set our weekly objectives. I could be wrong. But Tanosh Thomas didn't do well. Luis Ortiz struggled. Lolo did really with 364. Woo! Lolo to the majors soon. Tucupita Marcano played well. And Dante Mendoza played well. That's good to know. Focused on my team ranked top 100 since it changes weekly. Okay. So I'll try to dial in and focus on that type of stuff. Mitch Keller's cold. Who played well? We said it was Lolo. And he's in Double-A. I might just let him keep playing in Double-A right now. I mean, he could probably go up and replace one of these guys. But why mess with it? All right, what are we sitting at? We are 13 and 16, right behind the Cubs. This is not necessarily as bad as I thought we would be at this point in the season. 14 and 20, so we won 1 out of 5 games there. That's pretty bad. All right, scouting. All right, so now let's take a look. What do we actually have scouted? Some pitchers that have some potential. Recommended draft prospects. Top 100 prospects team rank. So, Monty Maynard is a right fielder with really good potential. This guy's got really good potential. Carlos Saldago, first baseman. Draft rank 12 for us. Draft rank 32 for the league. That bodes well for us. That's a potential first round. Trade logic seems improved. Nobody wanted Chris Bryant with his rating and contract. Okay. Yeah, I mean, whenever I was doing the trade to send away Brian Reynolds, it made a lot of sense. Like, I got back 3B potential prospects for him as a 91, which was, in my opinion, a little bit low compared to prior years, but probably a little bit more accurate to what you should actually be able to get for that guy. Like, it wouldn't let me put in multiple A potential players. So we got Saldago completely scouted. All right, so what we need to do is scout some specifics. And I really like that strategy that you came up with. That might be what I focus on as well. So we're going to scout position players. Who's good at position players? Julius Worth is. So you're going to scout Maynard because that guy looks like he could be really good. I just need to know who else we want to scout. So Jake Rudolph is a relief pitcher. There's a potential closing pitcher prospect here. I'd like to scout Rick Davidson a little bit. Okay, so he's good at position players, so we would want to scout a position player out of these guys. Frank Randolph is supposed to be up there for us. Another shortstop prospect. I really just don't want another shortstop prospect. All right, well, we'll go shortstop, and then we also want to scout. This is going to be our pitcher scout, right? Yep. Where we scout Jake Rudolph. Yeah, I don't typically draft closer relief. I 100% agree with you. But at the same time, I need A potential guys, and I'm not opposed to moving guys around. That's the thing. Like, I'm not going to scout a bunch of guys that I already know their potential is not going to be high just because they're the position that I need. I guess in that way it's not realistic, but yeah, I found a first baseman I like, and I found an outfielder that I scouted already a bunch. Oh, there's a couple big wins for us. We just swept Colorado, 17-23. Yeah, so these guys have a good bit. We'll be doing 70% on the next player. That guy's gonna go to first. Maybe I shouldn't scout these guys 100% because we're getting plus 70%. Okay, so I want this scout to be scouting Randolph. There's a guy named Rudolph and Randolph on the same screen. It's confusing me a little bit. So we want our guy that's getting 70% to go scout Randolph. Okay. This guy, scout Randolph. All right, and move that up to tier 1. No, see, now he's getting 70%. Yeah, because that'll finish it off. He'll get 100 on him. We're getting 70% on these on these pitchers. So I don't really want to waste that because I'm already at 80% on this guy, right? So I would rather get another pitcher. Bunch of closing pitchers. I'm looking for somebody. There we go. Well, we were already scouting Rick Davidson, weren't we? Scout him more. It's fine. If we get him up to 100%, he looks like he has some really good potential. And then this one, again, we want to scout a position player. Second baseman has some potential. We know Carlos Saldaga is going to be good, so we should really try to get him. I'm looking for players that have closer to 80 base potential. Like that. 82 to 96 is the type of thing I'm looking for. Alvis Campaneris, starting pitcher. Mitch Estrella, starting pitcher. So there's a couple starting pitchers. There's no position players though that are popping up like that. Lucius Venner. He's going to be a super low overall, but look at that potential. So we want to scout him. We have 40% on him this week. What I tried was too early was to use one scout to scout around my first round pick spot. Use the other two blindly scout by region. After that, I use scouts to scout prospects with a lower team rank than the MLB. That actually makes a lot of sense. That's a really logical way to do it, because then you're hopefully coming away with steals if you have if your rank is coming out better than the MLB rank. Lower or higher? So let's say, so are you more so looking for a guy like Frank Randolph or Rick Davidson? I think you'd probably be looking for a guy like Rick Davidson, right? Because our rank is 8, but the MLB ranks him at 12. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Makes sense. I probably shouldn't even be wasting my time with Randolph. Although, I don't know. We're not playing well this season, so we might be able to draft him. Cash wanted me to play a game. I'm not going to play another game here yet. Like I said, I'm trying to move through season 1. I'm really not trying to play a whole lot of games. Nathaniel Lowe. Brandon Malone, standing bruised ribs. He can keep going. Okay, cool. So, yeah, see, I know this guy would have B potential, so I guess, but MLB's going to rank him as 6th. Davidson might be a steal of a pick. And then we have Lucius Venner. But that potential's crazy. 85 to 95. It's probably going to be a B, and he's probably a low overall, but I like what I see out of that guy. Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying, Cash. Now the question for me becomes, do I put any priority into scouting Venner more, for example? Because I know his potential is going to be 85 to 95, which is what I'm looking for. And I know he's 22 years old. I know he's coming in at a low overall, so between 53 and a 63, that means he's probably about a 58. I kind of know what he is. Does scouting him anymore add any benefit? Probably not. But if I'm looking at my team rank, right, in the first round, Monty Maynard looks really freaking good. Probably not a potential, but that could be a good first round pick. What else did I scout? Rick Davidson could be a good first round pick. We know he's going to be at least a B. I definitely want to draft Carlos Saldago. So I think like first round pick wise, we probably have a couple of guys we're comfortable drafting from. So then we want to look elsewhere now. Like we want to look at a guy like Eldridge, who's maybe a second round type of a guy that we value pretty highly. And don't waste our time on any more first rounders. Chance of injury or bust. Okay. So I want somebody to scout DJ Eldridge. There were a couple other guys down here that had that 80, so like 82 to 96 for Campanera, but he's draft pick 33. 82 to 96 for Estrella. That would be a good one to scout. So we need our pitcher scout. And we want to get to Estrella. Right here. Move that up to top priority. Because we know that he's going to come in with at least B potential as a second round talent. So that would be kind of be our second round pick. I just want to keep scouting Venner because I know he'll be a good second to third round pick. What about my coaches? My coaches are, for lack of a better word, ass because I'm the Pirates. But I'll show you them in a minute. All right, so let's go first base. Do we have any prospects that are ranked particularly high? We already found Carlos Saldago. I mean, like David Kang has some potential. We know he's coming in at a minimum of a 78. But I think we kind of want guys that are lower than that. So we'll keep Kang in mind. Let me go to left field. Rich Shields. Probably not going to be the best. Not a whole lot there. Howie Wang. So I need to scout some more outfielders. But I did that and it wasn't popping up with players, so I don't know, maybe I was going crazy. Monty Maynard is that's actually crazy. So he's a not ranked prospect. He's a not ranked prospect by the MLB, and he's our second ranked guy. So that's pretty good to know. We should try to finish off his scouting, though. Okay, so of the players that I see that I actually like that I want to scout right now, it'd be David Kang. Actually has some potential value. So we're going to go with that. We'll get to 90% on Venner this week. And I got to remember, what was that other guy's name? I think he was in right field. All right, what are we looking at? So David Kang's going to be a B potential guy. Just Stroud. Okay. Now, my curiosity is we want to get, we could probably go inside the top 100, but we kind of want to go anywhere. So recommended draft picks, I would assume, would be similar. Players that we rank highly that are not ranked highly by others? No, not really. Winston Landis is going to be a low overall with high potential. Maynard was the guy I was talking about before. I'm going to have you scout Maynard, and that's going to be our last. Oh, it's because of his position. That's why I'm getting additional scouting on him. Duh. All draft prospects in right field. So, okay, I see what it's doing. So we're missing a lot of prospects. That's why. (26-31). What is the date of the draft, actually? All right. We had a question earlier about coaches. It works the same way that it has worked in the past. They made no changes here. But the Pirates coaches are all pretty bad. I don't think Derek Shelton should be giving as many negatives as he is, but he is. Our hitting coach is good. Our pitching coach is pretty bad. First base and third base are also pretty bad. I'm going to say the one that I'll probably replace, although he's got 4 years left on his contract, would be Oscar Marin. He's really bad statistically, like -2 velocity, -2 control, and -1 stamina. Really not helping anything there. Monty, a steal with a 42nd pick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, look at that. I mean, this dude is going to be a monster, but he's not ranked. I'm just going to be straightforward about what I'm planning to do. See, okay, so how does this work? Because I hit discover new prospects, outfield central, and it didn't discover anybody. It says up to 3 players will be discovered per week. Monty is a crazy talent, though. I mean, he's almost worthy of my first round pick. But again, yeah, you kind of want to get him as a steal. I might have already said it. Clearly my short-term memory's not the best, but I may do the draft once just to kind of get a feel for it, and then save before the draft and then do it again, just out of curiosity to see if I could get a guy like Monty Maynard to drop and draft him later. Yeah, get rid of the negatives. 100% agree. Find discovery is useless. Yeah. I mean, so, like, what am I just stuck drafting from what they give me? I mean, his discovery's in 84. Bobby Riley. Who's discovering him? Worth. Who's my best person at discovery? We need this. We really need to scout outfielders. Like, come on. Discover outfielders. International, I guess, and move that to top priority. So we need to find a position player. Ramon Mendez could be pretty good. No, he's an early player. We just don't have that many players discovered. Like, I need them to find more players, but they're not finding players. What the heck is that about? Jesus de Luzardo for heck no. Tamar Johnson's going nowhere. Appreciate the offer. – What is the official draft day? 27 days from now, so there's a lot of scouting still left to be done. Three new outfield prospects discovered. Recently scouted. And they brought me a bunch of bums. What the heck? All right, so I need to bring somebody up because Cal Mitchell got hurt. Make sure we get a good save file in here. I'm also going to create a backup. Oh, crap. No. Don't want to overwrite that one. There we go. $32 and $37. One team worse than us. 2, 3. National League. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we picking 12th as of right now. I guess that's not awful. Again, no players discovered. Nice. Eldon Hill looks like a nice prospect. He's going to be in the 50s, but he's going to have high B to A. Probably high B. That would be a good later round draft pick. Bobby Riley, probably be a very late pick. We're ranking him pretty high, though. Why are we ranking him pretty high? Like, why is he ranked 48, but Eldon Hill's ranked 96? Overall wise, they're probably right around the same. Bobby's cheaper, but the potential isn't quite there for Bobby. Younger, maybe that's it. Honestly, we're going to auto from here. And let's sim to the draft. We got 13 days. Everybody wants DeMar Johnson. Get out of here. All right, let's see what we can do. Before the drafts, you have the option to add prospects to your draft queue. Okay. Yeah, I think we said Carlos Saldago. First 6 picks have been set via the lottery. I forget. Does this go based on... This goes based on last year's record. Duh. Four minutes to draft. I should have read what that last one said. Speed of the draft. Sim to your next pick or sim the rest of the draft. Okay. Crap, did I save right before the draft? I'm pretty sure I did. Because I really want to make sure I get Monty Maynard. But I want to see if he falls. First pick, I feel like, has to be Saldago. Could also be Estrella. Like, we know these guys are going to have high potential. But this guy's ranked lower, so I don't know. All right, let's just start it and see. So let's say we go with Saldago first. What do we got? Okay, we at least got a cool animation. I like this. I mean, that's pretty nice. This is better than the literal nothing that we got before. They just automatically took him, one of the players that they took. How do I... Like, these picks are just all straight up. I don't want to watch all the animations for every other player. To be honest, I just want to watch them for my team. All right, sim to Pirates next pick. Yeah, so all of those guys went. I have 2 prospects to draft from. Oh, no, never mind. So when can I actually sign my draft picks? If they're not signed by August 1st. You still have to like prioritize your signings? I don't know about this. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like this process is a little lame. Okay, so first off, we're gonna back out because I want to try to do that draft over again because I don't want to miss out on that guy that we know is really good. Right, so we know, well, that's the thing, Maynard might not have A, but we know he's a really high overall to start at a 21-year-old, and we know he's at least got B. So let's think about this and do this right. We also wouldn't want to draft somebody that's not interested in us with that first pick. Yeah, so we know Maynard's going to go. We know he's going to go. Then we go Soldago. I mean, I don't really even think we need to add players to that board. It was easy enough to find everybody. Okay, start it. Let's do it this way. We know we want Maynard first. I feel like he's that corner outfielder. Let's go with that. So we now know that even though this player is a quote-unquote non-ranked talent, he went in the first round anyway. So if the CPU has him scouted or the CPU knows this information, they're just going to take him. See if this guy is also Lewis again. Lewis, whatever his name is. Yeah, it looks like the same guy. Lewis James went second again. I don't remember the guys after Lewis James. I was not paying attention. Brito. Bartolo Brito. So we know Estrella is potentially good. That's the starting pitcher. We also had David Kang lined up. He's the first baseman. I might rather get the first baseman. What starting pitcher's 22 and not going to be coming in at the highest overall. Kang's going to be coming in at 22, also not a high overall. 21, not a high overall. 22. Eldon Hill and Venner. Weston Landis. Oliver Matlock. First baseman with good potential. We could get a center fielder with good potential. Scott Felch. Why is he locked? Oh, it's because it's not my pick, duh. Those guys both gone? Yeah, I figured. We go with Morrow. Connolly. Higher guarantee of the overall. All right. Now we're out of the draft. I'll rock with that. I'm cool with that result. Check my messages here real quick. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Who's in the home run derby? Nobody Pirates related, so I don't care. I can sign draft picks today. Okay, well, all right, let's not be as harsh on this right away. We got to focus on signing picks, right? So why wouldn't I just sign my top picks right off the bat, I guess? Bonus allotment. We only have 14.36 mil. Let me do some numbers here to see how this works. Because this guy wants 6.6 plus 2 plus 0.749 plus 0.27 plus. That's it. So 11.2. So I should have no problem signing them from the bonus perspective. And they're all interested. I mean, the only one that's not really that interested is Connolly. Based on interest, I found there needs to be 60 to consistently sign them. Raising the bonus helps. So we might need to like raise the bonus on Connolly as an example then, because he's not that interested. But a lot of these guys like 72, 62 is not great for Venner, 67, 80, 76, 75. Okay. Let's focus on Maynard. Prospect to see their options. Send a contract once they've reached 50% interest in signing with your team. So I could offer a contract right now. Okay. Suggested value 8.84. Okay, so in theory, so he's demanding 6.6. That's the minimum he could demand, it seems like. So if I just offered him $6.78 and he's interested, what does that do? Yes, he decided to sign. Okay. Just curious, how does that bonus get allotted? Oh, so like we don't even... So I can technically sign them all right now if I really wanted to. Estrella was first, yeah. Offer contract. He wants $2 million. He has a lot of interest. Yeah, just sign him right away. Okay, I see how this is working. Offer declined. Okay. Understood. Okay, so in theory, it might make sense, like with these guys, to just get their interest up before we do anything else. Three-day signing plan. Their interest went up a little bit. And as you increase the money, their interest increases. Got it. Pretty straightforward, to be honest with you. Decided to sign with the Pirates. All right, so we got all of our rookies signed in. Beautiful. Now the question becomes, what do those rookies actually come in at? Is there going to be a point where it shows us what exactly they are? Because that's all I care about now, is finding out what their potential and overall is. Sim 3 days. David Bednar. Okay, this might be an offer we have to consider. They want to give us... Come again? Another good pitcher with really good velocity. A center fielder and a shortstop. A very good fielder. Not really looking for that right now. Deshaun Knowles. Good contact for where he's at. Not like a crazy good arm. And not crazy athletic. He's got a good bat, though. I don't think I want that trade. I think I'd rather keep Bednar around for a while. Okay, I get the coaching staff thing. Why do you keep giving me the same thing over and over again? Calendar, sign draft picks. Somebody got a Jazz Chisholm. Okay, good to know. $41-52 is not very good. It's not really a position that we would want to add players, especially when the Cardinals are 53-40. The only player that I've really considered trading is Bednar. But I guess I can look at the other players and how they're performing. Leiter's progressing well. Brubaker 5.61, 283. They're not going to get traded. Let's maybe move this around a little bit. AAA. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys go back down to AA. Rich Hill is awful. 1-10 with a 6.47 ERA. I feel like that's a release the player, waive him type of. We have to pay him $6 million. What the freak? He's not worth keeping on the roster at this point. Can I put him in? Ugh. Gross. All right, well, it's going to be time for one of these guys to... You know what, Jack Leiter? Welcome to the MLB. We didn't trade for you for nothing. Richie Riley should probably be up in the MLB. .250 average. Might as well leave him up. Mason Martin should probably just get to the MLB here soon. Switch Termarr Johnson to get up to AAA. He's playing better than Nick Gonzalez. Nick Gonzalez could probably use a stint down below. Rodolfo Castro is not playing the worst. Triolo's not doing well. So we could try to trade. No, we're not. We want to keep By around. Figueroa's okay. McCutcheon's doing really well. We could pull off the ultimate Pirates move and just trade McCutcheon away again. Seems like a good idea to me. Connor Joe was doing horrible before getting put on the IL. Probably need to just part ways with him. Andujar is not doing totally awful. Taveras is doing pretty good, all things considered. Custom cleats, yeah, I mean, you can customize the cleats that are available. I'll show you what I mean in a bit here. Matt Frazier's doing really well. There are way too many guys here in AAA. What the heck? Lolo Sanchez is up to AAA and he's batting .293. We got to get this guy to the majors sooner than later. Jack Sawinski could be a good trade asset. Not that I don't want to keep him around. I really don't have anything against keeping him around. He has a decent arm. I kind of like Sawinski. But, I don't know. Maybe we should. Does he have, like, high 70s? potential. Might want to give him into like the low Bs or something if he keeps playing that well through the season. I mean, 256 isn't the best in the world, but it's pretty dang good with 14 home runs. Not a whole lot more that we have to do there. Save this again. I just really want to see what this draft class looks like now. I'm really curious. Let me check your comments. I missed a few. I apologize. Jacob Doobie. Wow, they really did completely revamp the scouting. Nice to see franchises getting some attention. Yeah, it's like... It's kind of revamped. It's kind of the same. Like, your scouts have the same attributes and stuff, is what I was saying. You just kind of go about doing things in a slightly different way. $21-day process to sign. How come you don't have replay on so I can start from the beginning? How do I put replay on? That is the question. I'll put replay on if I know how to do it or if I can figure it out. Content. Live. Live dashboard, YouTube live dashboard. If anybody has any idea how to put replay on, let me know. Yeah, so the cleats don't boost your attributes in franchise mode, but like in Diamond Dynasty, you can do that on your player, and in Road to the Show, yeah, you can still use, at least I'm pretty sure. I haven't actually dove into Road to the Show yet. You've always been able to put equipment on to like custom cleats and whatnot to be able to boost your attributes. I gotta figure out this live replay thing now. Live. Yeah, it doesn't. I just noticed that. Like, I can't click back. I don't know how to activate that. Live chat replay, participant modes, anyone, trailer, stream customization. I mean, there's nothing here. Maybe it's an OBS. Stream. That's a great question. I can't figure that out. Gotta do something real quick. Huh. So there should be a setting somewhere that I can turn on to allow you guys to go back on the live stream. I have no idea where that setting is. Details monetize. Okay. Details. Tags. Recording date and location. Allow embedding. Category. Comments. It's not under details. Under customization, I have live chat and live chat replay. Participation modes, anyone. Message delay. Slow mode. Redirect. And trailer. It's not there. Analytics. Monetization. Copyright. So I don't have the ability to change it right now. But I'm going to make sure that I try to figure that out and get that set for next stream. Because you're right. I mean, I want you guys to be able to go back and start the video wherever and skip around. You know what I mean? Appreciate you pointing that out, though. Just had a voice crack. I appreciate you pointing that out, because if you didn't point that out, I would have never known. I honestly would have had no idea, because nobody else said anything. But like I watch live streams and I like to jump around, you know, jump back, see what I missed, that type of stuff. So we have until what, August 1st. We're not really looking to make any trades. I say we just go through to August. Tamar Johnson broke his leg. Beautiful. I do want to stop simulating, because that means I now need to replace Tamar Johnson in AAA, which means Nick Gonzalez, congratulations, you're right back up to AAA. Oh my goodness. Broken ankle now. For our big trade piece in center field. So now we need to call up somebody else. So probably Andahar is going to go back up. One, two, three, four, five outfielders in AAA. That's more than enough. Now we're getting an offer for Bednar. For an A potential third baseman. Good fielding, no power, no contact. I'll pass. I could go out and look for a trade for Bednar, but I'm only really gonna go through any trading right now this season if I get a good offer with somebody that has pretty solid power. No, keeps him in. Not signed by August 1st. I have nobody else to sign. This is looking like August 1st. View draft picks. Okay. So we won't know. I guess we technically don't know their overall. Yeah, no, we do know their overall. Okay. So with the mean voice crack facts. First overall pick in the draft, we were able to acquire 72 overall Monty Maynard in right field. This guy, again, like Termarr Johnson, probably going to be pretty quickly called up to the MLB. 21 years old, really good contact. Now, what I will say, however, is I thought that these players were going to be completely eliminated from the draft. Or mostly eliminated from the draft. Because, this is kind of what you saw in past years where you would get quite a few players that were 70s and MLB ready to start. And CPU teams will take these players and start them right away. So, I mean, maybe there's not as many of them, but that's a player right there that is ready to hop into, at the very least, a DH role. Just based on ratings alone. In the second round, I had first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. One of these was also an extra fourth round pick or something. Estrella, the starting pitcher, comes in as a 62 overall with 88 potential. So we have an 85 potential and 88. Eldon Hill, the right fielder, comes in as a 54 overall with 87 potential. Now, yeah, all of these players are in their 20s. That's interesting. Lucius Venner is a 55 with 87 potential. And then we did get a couple of A potentials later on here. I'd assume they're pretty low overalls. Yep. We got right fielder Winston Landis, 48 overall with A potential. Left fielder Scott Felsch, 50 overall, A potential. And our final pick, which was kind of a shot in the dark a little bit. I mean, I kind of knew because it said he had 79 minimum potential. Comes in with 88 potential. A 53 overall with 88 potential. So we got a lot of high potential players. Now they're all 21, 22, 23 years old. So it may take a while for some of these guys to really make an impact. You're going to see a guy like Maynard help out pretty quickly. Estrella maybe, and then the rest of these guys are all pretty low overall. So that adds some depth to our farm system, at least. Some players that we know over time could help the team in the future. How long have I been streaming for? Just out of genuine curiosity. Does OBS say? I don't think it says. And for whatever reason, because of the replay thing, I can't actually see it on YouTube either, how long I've been streaming for. Contract extensions, view draft picks. Okay, so now it's time to get some contract extensions going because evidently we have quite a few players that need extended. And some of these guys we really have to make sure that we extend. Like O'Neal Cruz is just, period, point blank. There's nothing we can do. He's renewable, which is fantastic. I mean, he's only going to super increase in overall, so at 2.5 mil per year, I would totally be down for a 5-year deal. That's perfectly fine for me, and then I can avoid arbitration. I mean, I can even go down, like this is going to let me sign him for super cheap. $2.2 per year, no option. He's a star. We're just gonna base it. I don't need to backload or anything. Actually, no. I should backload it. Reason being is his morale. I guess. Maybe. Mitch Keller, we need to make sure we bring around. He's going to be expensive. He's not renewable. We can do arbitration with him. 3.42 ERA, 6-8 win-loss. He's going to be expensive no matter what. I'm going to have to think about that one. Andrew McCutchen, I would like to bring back. I don't know that you're going to be an everyday player, my dude. Renzi Contreras, you're renewable, right? $2.4 million. I mean, again, he's going to progress quickly, so I don't see myself being able to what's the word I'm looking for? I see myself paying him a ton of money if I give him a short contract now. Like all of these guys. Same thing with Endy. 5 years, 2.3. They kind of got to fix this contract system because, like, let's be honest, I probably shouldn't be able to do this with all these players. That's a lot of contracts, a lot of players to extend. I will say, I wish that, like in Madden, I could go tell Rich Hill, by the way, I'm not offering you a contract, so get off my list. Like, reject these players so they don't show up anymore. Because some of these guys I'm just flat out not going to bring back. Three years is not bad. I mean, arbitration-wise, dude's really good. 3 years, 3.2 mil. Easy re-signing. I don't know what to do with Mitch Keller. I think I just have to pay the money for him. But like knowing the Pirates, are they going to pay a guy $10 million a year? I don't know. I would like to bring Jack back. Jack back. Like, this is where you can really get into a budget type of a player. I could get Jack Sawinski at 6 years for 2.6 per year. Like, that's not expensive. And he could end up being like he could probably end up being into the 80s with how well he's done and how well I can do with him. I'll probably go 5 years, 1.8. I know that like collectively this is going to increase our. And yeah, like he only wants a platoon role. Heck yeah. I mean, that's like an easy deal to do. Rodolfo Castro is pretty solid. Castro does have the potential to be a pretty good DH. That one kind of hurt a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do some new tips and tricks videos. I'm going to talk a lot about the new scouting system for sure. Just kind of depends as well, like what I discover as I go through franchise mode. There are certain things that have changed, certain things that haven't changed. So, you know, I can cover a few of the new things for sure, at the very least. But I do plan to be putting out regular content on this. Let's just get the deal done for Keller. I feel like as long as I'm not going over 10 mil per year, like we could go into arbitration with this guy, but he's probably going to earn more than 4 mil. He's got 95 velocity, 99 break, and he's just going to keep getting better in all his other categories. If I give him the ace role, can I take his money down? This is also something that probably shouldn't work, is like giving a player the ace role and then that lets you pay them less. Like realistically, if I'm offering a guy the ace role, it should make them also want more money because they're then the ace. What do I need to do to get you to accept a platoon contract? A lot of money. That's what I need to do. Okay. We might come back to that. Then we got to re-sign everybody else that has a renewable contract. How old's this guy? 24? Renewable, arbitration. 3 years. Actually, you can usually go... No, I think they fixed that, actually. You used to be able to go below the renewable... Sorry, the looking for number, and they would automatically accept it. Because you can renew the contract at what? What is it, like a certain percentage of the existing contract? Like, oh my goodness, I can get, like, I know he's got B potential, but Swaggerty's going to be good eventually, you know, in the game, especially if I'm using him. So getting him on a 5-year deal for 1.6 mil is easy money. If he progresses, and I wait, then I could be paying him millions and millions. Like, yeah, you can go the renewable route, but you can also set yourself up for success financially long term here. 6 years at $990K. Yeah, and like there's nothing stopping me from trading this guy. You just have to be careful how many players you do that with. I may end the stream here in a bit. I don't know. Only reason I say that is I should probably go. I didn't eat lunch. We got to bring back Lighter. Bunch of prospects. Nobody were that. I mean, I want to bring Kutch back. I just got to figure out which way I want to do it. I definitely don't want to give him a ton of money. I also kind of want to do right by him, though. So, like, 5 years at 2.8 per year. I mean, is that going to hurt anything? I mean, it might be super low overall at that point, but I can't give him. That's the problem. I can't give him the everyday role. I'd have to give him platoon. Future DH, maybe? Because we could probably justify switching his overall around as a DH. You know what I mean? Like, we could probably justify at a certain age here just completely destroy his fielding capabilities and his athleticism and just give him really solid batting stats and let him be a DH, right? An everyday DH. Years. I'd like 3 years, 3.9. Would he accept that? No. That's too much. 2 years. Yeah, front load it. What do you mean increase the salary? You're literally asking for 4.4 per year, and I'm giving you 4.5, bro. Relax. All right, good enough. We got him on 1 year, 5.2. I won't really complain about that. Sorry, I know that this isn't the most sexy part of a stream, but 6 years at 1.7. Done deal, bro. Done deal. You're 28. I'm not giving you a 5-year deal as a reliever. Three years, 1.6 actually sounds pretty good. I'm going to let JT Brubaker walk. I'm going to bring Rodolfo back. I'm just going to renew Baez contract. Vince Velasquez a walk to Capita. So his potential went up on his own. All right, yeah. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good place to end the stream. I'm going to call it right around here. We'll talk about a couple of things before I hop off here. I'll finish doing some of those contract extensions off stream just because I know that's kind of tedious, and most of those players we don't give a crap about. And basically, we'll come back next time, and I'll probably do the next segment in a stream format as well. I mean, we literally have just the end of the season to get through here. We'll try to sign a couple free agents in the offseason maybe to supplement the roster, and we'll get a look at those rookies. And we'll probably honestly be rocking with a roster next season where we can start playing a little bit. And Termar will be involved. Who else will get involved? I mean, Swaggerty's already involved. Lolo Sanchez might get to a point where he can start rocking. And Henry Davis as well. Pitching wise, we'll also be able to lean on some guys like Priester, and Kumar Rocker might get up there by then. Mike Burrows, Luis Ortiz. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, there's right now it looks like there's 9 of you that are still concurrently tuned in. So I'll take that all day long, especially with some content like this. I know not everybody's into the nitty gritty of a franchise mode in MLB The Show. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys tuning in. So as always, I hope that you guys will leave me some feedback down below. There's a lot of things here to go over. Number one, check out my merch link. Really excited about that merch. I hope some of you guys will go pick up a t-shirt or something. I know prices and whatnot aren't ideal on there, but it's basically just an easy way for me to set up a merch shop. There weren't a whole lot of other great avenues for me to go through, but I can guarantee you that some of them, the quality is very good on. I ordered quite a few items, and I wasn't displeased with any of them. The athletic shirts, especially the dry fit t-shirts, so good with the print on them. So definitely recommend that. Make sure you guys check out some of the other links down in the description. I was provided a copy of this game by Sony, so I wanted to kind of reiterate that as a review copy. So I will be reviewing the game here in the near future. And like I said, I'll be doing some more content on the game as well in terms of tips and tricks videos to help you guys out, especially with the new scouting system and whatnot. And I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys have a good one. Just a matter of in and off the stream now.